G'day guys, I'm CASTY.
I'm Chris.
And this episode on True Blue Touring, we do the Gibb River Road and the Kimberley.
It's so hard.
We then began the Gibb River Road, first stopping off at El Questro, and we wanted to make the most of our first 24 hours there, so we headed to Camp Quickly, which was a private camp with a nice swimming hole. We moved straight on to Jackaroo's waterhole where RANGA backflopped off a tree, which made all the boys laugh.
Next stop, Moonshine Gorge.
A few of the boys decided to go up to Saddleback Ridge Lookout, which was a nice little track up there, and it made for a really nice sunset up high, and we could look over our campsite and all the valley there as well.
So the next day we went to Pigeonhole Billabong, which they suggest high clearance 4 drives. They weren't really necessary. It's an alright track, wasn't too hard. And we got down to the bottom and had a bit of a fish. There was no swimming down there, and we unfortunately came up empty-handed.
We did lose a few lures though.
So we have no fish.
Our next destination was El Questro Gorge, which was a 5-kilometre walk. The first halfway waterhole was quite nice, and then after you climb over that boulder there, it's another 2-3 k's after that to a really nice secluded waterfall. It wasn't our smartest move to walk barefoot with no shirts on and no water, but it definitely is worth going past the halfway pool to the end.
Unfortunately, at El Questro, we ran out of time to go to Zebedee Springs. There was a 12 o'clock cutoff before they did private tours, so we didn't quite make that wake-up call. So we headed back across the Gibb and ended up camping just before the Pentecost River.
The next day we decided to head up to Windham through the old Kurungi track, which had some soft bull dust bits at the start, which then went on to mud flats, which was really fun to drive on through the El Questro cattle station.
And just for something different, we decided to set up camp on the mud flats just outside Windham, which was nice.
Like you, I never knew nobody take it, not break it. I never knew somebody who could flip it and shake it.
Before we hit the Gibb River Road again for the second time, we met up with Oscar and Ben's grandparents for a bit of a lunch, which was really nice to see them again. They're also doing a lap around Australia.
Unfortunately, we had to say bye to Tim as he had to head back to Sydney.
Oh yeah.
We then moved on to Emma Gorge, which was a really nice walk as well. At the pool there was a little hot spring off to the side, which was really nice after the cold water. We then continued along the Gibb to the Pentecost River crossing, which was unfortunately dried up. We followed the road for another 70 k's to the Durack River, where we had a little bit of a fish, and Chris pulled in a sooty grunter which he cooked up for dinner. Next morning RANGA woke up to a flat tyre, so we decided to replace that quickly and get back onto the road.
At that point we decided to make our way up to Columbaroo, but before we did so we headed past Mitchell Falls National Park and had a look at King Edward River and Mitchell Falls, which was some nice scenery.
When these stars start to fall, will you love me? Will you call? I need you close. Don't run away. Don't run away. Chasing highs in the midnight sun. We fought for love. We were on the run. Try my
Next morning RANGA woke up to another flat tyre again, unfortunately. This time instead of changing the tyres over, we decided to use the puncture repair kit, which was quite a challenge with the size of the rock that was stuck inside of his tyre, but we got it eventually and then continued on. We then ventured up onto Honeymoon Bay, which was a really nice spot that we camped on the beach. Some great fishing, some great scenery, which made for a good couple of days there.
Over the 2 nights that we spent there, it was nice to be able to finally swim somewhere, and we did lots of fishing as well, catching a wide array of fish, queenfish, GT, mangrove jack, tuskfish, rock cod and a whole bunch of others. That was really good fun to catch, just using soft plastics off the rocks, which was really good fun.
I want you by my side. I hope you never leave. I'll just keep holding on. I'll just be all you need. This life is all we know. This life is all we know. Made it way past broken hearts. Won't you stay a while? Stay a while.
We decided to stay up around the Columbaroo region for another couple of nights, so we went to McGowans Island, which was a great spot with a great caretaker there as well. He pointed us to a rock just off this ledge that we could fish at low tide. We went there the first night and we caught about 20 fish in an hour from bait that the caretaker gave us with his cast net, which was great fun as well. Bit of different fishing that we hadn't got to do before.
safe, safe. The only risk is that you'll go insane. The only risk is that you'll go insane.
We were also lucky enough, one of the guys at McGowans offered two of us a trip on his boat. So we pulled straws and RANGA and Ben were lucky enough to win. They came back with another big haul, catching anything and everything. Mangrove jack, barramundi, which was a really good day out for them.
While Ben and RANGA were out on the boat, Chris put some trevally meat on his hook and threw it out. He hooked onto a massive lemon shark, which was quite impressive to bring in on a 2 to 4 kilo rod. It was a great fight and really fun for the boys to see the big shark up close.
We then headed down from Columbaroo and went back onto the Gibb River, where we made it to Galvins Gorge. The water was a bit still, a bit stagnant, but it was didn't stop a couple of the boys from having to jump in.
Unfortunately, a lot of the water holes west of Mitchell Falls were dried up, and with the temperature rising and nothing really to do on the Gibb, we decided that our time was over and we headed straight to Broome. Next week we explore Cape Lebeek and the area surrounding Broome with Oscar and Ben's cousin.
Water slides, man. WARDY slides.
Next stop, Moonshine Gorge.
It doesn't take